Doctor,
Okay.
you can go ahead.
Okay. So before we continue, we normally collate the results of our trades, every day for the week and then for the month. So before we continue, I want to share the result of this past week. It started on Sunday, ending today, so that you see. Can we just mute our mic, please?
Coach Alaba, please, can you just mute everybody?
Okay. I just did that.
Oh, can you hear me now? Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you loud and clear.
To share the result for this past week from on Sunday till today, because you need to see what we are talking about so that you can get prepared for the section of today and then for the challenge we're about to start on the 1st of February. So let's go. We have okay. Okay. So for the week that just ended, from on the 22nd of this January till today, 28th, we took 40 trades so far. Can you see my screen? Hello?
Yes, I can see your screen.
Okay, so we took 40 trades. Now, just go through it. We took CROV, T4, Aeon, Kava. Look at all of them.
No, yes, he's trying to. Oh, okay. He's trying to come up from this end.
Okay, okay. Now, while it comes up, let me say something. The way our trade works, 80% of the trades deliver between 24 to 72 hours. Most of them within 70 or 80, 70, most of them, we just give a time frame between 24 to 72 hours, 80% of them delivers. And then before, most times, they all deliver within 3 days at most. But at times you have some that will spill, to the end of the week. Remember that in the crypto space, you don't lose money. But what we don't want people to stay in unnecessary floating loss, because if your money is in the deep for a very long time, you won't be able to trade with it. And that's one of the setbacks of the crypto market, right? That is why we have this special strategy, this special technique that is different from every other person trading on the normal Binance OB exchange. So every trade or every business has its secrets, has its success, so that is for us. Now look at all the trades. You can see first, second, up to the 9th trade, ETC, that is still pending. But from the 1st to the 8th trade, all sold. And then we continued again till also from the 10th trade till the 26th trade, leads still pending. So meaning that from the 1st trade to the 26th trade, 24 has delivered for this week, just 2 floating, waiting to be delivered. And then that's all. So all of them from the first trade to the 34th trade, that is as at this morning, they had all delivered except 2 of those trade floating. You can see we have 6 other ones under. These trades are the ones that just came out this evening, a few hours ago. So hopefully before tomorrow, they would have delivered. Or you can see them at the bottom. They just came up this evening. We just took them. So that is, even this gala that is 34, we took it this afternoon, and that is it. So you can see the results. I don't know where you want to get this kind of results again. So if you are not excited, then there is something very wrong, because this is a whole lot. If you add all the percentages from the first to the 40 trade, it is over 80%. So yes, it works. It is doable. We have been doing it from even the bear market, not today, since last year till today. That is why we decided to bring it to the community to help others, to help to create wealth. So if you are excited, just give me a thumbs up as we go into the technical session. Thank you very much.
Okay. Hello, can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Okay, sorry, the moderator, I think network has took him out. So that's the result. Thank you very much for presenting it. We are grateful from your Dr. Money. Yeah, I think by tomorrow you will sum up the total percentage and every other thing. So now, as you all know, the topic for today is just to show you how do we set the robots, because that's very, very important. Every team has their style of setting the robot, and also of how to pick trades, how to analyze the coin and trade. So it is very, very important. It's very important for you to know how the style, how to set the robot, so that you will not go a method. If you follow instruction, you always keep smiling. So that's what we are going to do today. Let me share my screen. Yeah. Hello, can you guys see my screen?
No, not yet.
Coach Salisu,
Okay.
please make me the co-host. I got disconnected by the network. Make me a co.
Okay. Still looking for. I can't find you. Okay, I've seen you. Coach Adaba, I can't find you.
I'm using my mobile, not my laptop. My mobile. Mohammed, you say it.
I think you're now co-host. So can you guys see my screen? Queen Ubok.
Yes.
Yes,
Yes.
we can.
Can see.
Okay. Okay, so fine. Now, what we do is we make use of first buy-in amount as 25%. You must ensure you follow the rules. Once you follow the rules of the game, you keep smiling. First buy-in amount is 25% of your capital. For example, you're trading with $1,000. As you can see, this is my rare queue. I tap on home, then I will tap on mine. This is mine here, right? You tap on mine. If you are using an iPhone, you search for my policy setting. If you are using an Android, you search for my strategy setting. My strategy setting. So when you tap on my strategy setting, it takes you to the next page. Then you tap on add it now. If you have never saved any settings before on the Royal Queue, your first time, you will see add it now. But if you have set a setting before, you will see it here. All you just need to do is tap on plus. Tap on this plus. There. So that's what you should do. Then when you tap on it, or when you tap on it, this is what will show. This is the next page here. Now, risk type, you change it to radical. Radical. Somebody will say, what is radical? You sound like you're saying radical again. We make use of radical in the sense that once the market hits the target, randomly get out, sell and get out of the market. That's what we're using radical, right? Not conservative and not the other one. Remark, first buy in amount. I repeat, please, if you want to keep smiling, stick to the rule. There is never a time. This tactics we are using is not just in the bullish. It's not because Bitcoin is pumping in January that you say that's why it's selling. We have been using it since bearish market. If a strategy will work in the bearish market, from the middle of bearish market, let's say from 6 months ago till December, there's nothing you can work in the bullish any other season. So that's why I say stick to the rule and you keep smiling. Radical. First buy in amount. Now, somebody is trading with $1,000, for instance. The recommendation of T-Motion International is minimum 300. It's not as if you cannot use more than less than 300. $300 per coin. $300 per coin, I repeat. Now, if I am using $300 for one coin and I have $1,000, that means I will trade 3 coins. 300, 300, 400. We trade more coins so that the probability of sell is high. If you trade like 8 coins or 7 coin signals, the probability of sell is high. But if you trade 1 coin, it will still sell, of course, but we want it to we want trade that will sell quickly. That's why we increase the rate at which we trade. Right? Now, first buy in amount. Coach Adaba, can you see my screen? Ibok, please, can you see my screen?
Yes, I see the screen.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So first buy in amount. I'm doing a setting of $300 because I said the recommendation is $300. There's a reason why I say so. Now you will get to know that when I come to margin call configuration. First buy in amount, 25% of 300. For instance, I have $1,000 now. I'm just giving an instance. I want to do 300, 300, 400. Now, first buy in amount, 25% of 300. I go to my calculator. 25% of 300 will give me what? 75. So which means my first buy-in amount will be $75. Margin open position double, I will not enable it because if I enable it, you are telling the robot to use 2 times 75. I will not enable it. Margin configuration, margin call limit 5. I repeat, minimum standard is 5, not 1 margin call. You trade with 5 margin call. Why? You will get to know that when I go to margin configuration. Hold position take profit ratio. It is the percentage of profit you want when you enter the market. Now, this is a function of the way you analyze the coin when you go to your trading view, right? So now, hold position take profit, you leave it at 2. It's tentative. It depends on how you analyze the coin. Hold position take profit callback. What is the meaning of hold position take profit callback? It means if the profit has reached 2, if I'm taking 2, robots don't sell. If you go to 2.1, don't sell. 2.2, don't sell. 2.3, don't sell. But after it has hit 2.3, it now go back to 2. That's when you should sell. That's whole position take profit call back. Or 2.1, 2.2, 2.3, 2.4, 2.5. After it has hit 2.5, it now go back to 2.2. So you can see there's a difference of 0.3. It is that difference. That means you can see if you're using this, you make more money, but we give it at what? 0.1. So that if it goes to 2.2, if you go back to 2.1, sell. We want it to quickly sell. The goal is not to stay long in the market. Take my money and get out. Margin configuration. You go to margin configuration. Now, multiple buy-in ratio. Look at it. There are two items you will see here. Two items here. Multiple buy-in ratio, margin call drop. You see it? Multiple buy-in ratio. Like I say, every team has their way of trading style. Team Motion, they don't use doubling method. Doubling method, there are three methods. I will only show you the method we are using. There are three methods of computing multiple buy-in ratio. Team Motion make use of Fibonacci. That's why you see anywhere you see the signal of Team Motion, you see strategy, you see Fibonacci there. Fibonacci. We have +1 method, we have Fibonacci, and we have doubling method. Team Motion make use of Fibonacci. Yes, doubling method is better than Fibonacci. Fibonacci is better than +1. So we are staying in the middle. Fibonacci. What is the Fibonacci? Yes, you type 1, 2. Now, Fibonacci numbers. If you want to get, once you type 1 and 2, if you want to get the third, you just say 2 + 1, 3. If you want to get the fourth, 3 + 2, 5. If you want to get the fifth, 5 + 3, 8. This is how you get Fibonacci. This is how you get the Fibonacci numbers. If you want to get the next one, say, yeah, maybe for example, you're using 6 margin call, 8 + 5, 13. If you're using 7 margin calls, if you want to get one, 13 + 8, 21. Right? So we are using 5 margin calls. But this is not how, don't forget, our first buying amount is 25%. So if you want to know the amount of USDT that you are going to allocate for the first margin call here, if you want to know that, this is what you do. You just sum everything together. 1 + 2 + 3 + 5 + 8. Everything will give you 19. Somebody will say, how did I get 19? I still don't understand. Go to your calculator. 1 + 2 + 3 + 5 + 8 gives me 19. So I'll just go and type 1 divided by 19. That one that you see, the first margin call is having 1 as the multiple buy-in ratio. 1 divided by 19. Before that, 25% of 300 is what? 75. So you say 300 minus 75. This is the leftover, which is 225. Now, if you want to know the amount of USDT you are going to allocate for the first margin call, don't forget, we already add everything together. 1 + 2 + 3 + 5 + you give me 19. So if you want to know the amount of USDT for the first margin call, I'll now say, since it's 1 that is on the first margin call, on the multiple buy-in ratio, I'll now say 1 divided by 19 times 225. It means I'm going to allocate $11 for the first margin call. But I'm not going to type $11 on the first margin call, though. I'm going to type 11 divided by first buy-in amount, which is 75. Divided by 75. 0.16, 2 decimal place, 0.16. But if you are using iPhone, you cannot use 2 decimal places, 1 decimal place. That's why you are going to use 0.2. If you round it up to 1 decimal place, you have 0.2. But if you are using Android, 0.16. Because I'm using Android, that's why I put 0.16. Then I go to the second one, 2 divided by 19. The second one is having 2. 2 divided by 19 times 225. It gives me what? 23. Now, divided by the first buy-in amount. That means I'm going to allocate 23 USDT for the second margin call. Divided by what? First buy-in amount, which is 75. Divided by 75, it gives me what? 0.32. 0.32. So I'll now go and type 0.32 here. 0.32. Then I'll go to the third, 3 divided by 19. 3 divided by 19, it gives me what? 3 divided by 19 is this times 225, 35 USDT. Now, divide by 75, first buying amount, 0.47. 0.47. I'll come back and put 0.47 here. 0.47. Fourth, we have 5 divided by 19. 5 divided by 19 times 225, 59. Divide by 75, first by 0.79. 0.79. I type 0.79 here. 0.79. The last one you have 8. 8 divided by 19 times 225. Divide by what? 75. You have 1.26. 1.26. I'll type 1.26 here. Now, if I want to know that whether I am correct or not, I will sum everything together. 1.26 plus 0.79, 1.26 plus 0.79 plus 0.47 plus 0.32 plus 0.16 plus 1. After I've sum everything together, there is a constant I must always add, which is 1. Plus 1, representing the first buying amount, plus 1. What does it give me? 4. Multiply by the first buying amount, which is 75 times 75. You can see it give me 300, which means I am correct. It's giving me the exact $300. So this is the setting for the margin configuration. Don't worry about the margin call drop. It comes with the signal. You will see every signal of the motion international. You see first call, the fifth call, certain amount of certain percentage. That means from the first call. Don't worry yourself about that. You get it from the trading view. If you follow and watch the, if you follow the one, if you want to know how to get the margin call drop, you can watch the lesson. This is just the setting of the robot, not how to pick signal. Now, this is how you do it for $300. Then you go back to buy in callback 0.1. Buy in callback. Somebody will say, what is the meaning of buy in callback? You are telling the robot that if the price, you can see, if you are using, for example, if you go to the margin configuration, if you are using 3.5 as the margin call drop for the first margin call, you are telling the robot that even if it has reached $3.5, don't buy. If you are using 0.1 as multiple buy in callback, 0.1, don't buy. If you go to 3.6, don't buy. 3.7, don't buy. But when there is a pullback, you go back to 3.6 again. You can see there's a difference of what? 0.1. That is why you should buy. That's the meaning of what? Buy in call back. Now, you make here 0.1. Distributed take profit allocation, we always leave it at 1.3. So that if the robot buys the whole of the margin call, first to fifth call, it should keep buying and selling. Keep buying and selling that fifth margin call. Even in your floating, you still making money. The standard of the motion international features of the features of the motion international signal is the floating loss is between 5 to 25%. If you follow instruction, your floating loss should be between that. And even when you're in float, you will still be making cash, full money in the fifth margin call. Confirm. Circle, you change it to this circle here. You change it to one shot. You just tap on it. Change to one shot. So position take profit callback, make it 0.1. 0.1. Simple. This is $300 setting. $300 setting. Save. Confirm. That is all you need to do for $300. Now, like I said, the recommendation is $300 per coin. So if you're having $1,000, you are going to do what? $300, $300, $400. We are increasing the rate at which we what? Trade. Now, for the $300 challenge, 300 days challenge, you are having $1,000. Yeah? It's not as if you're going to use $250 for. Okay, we have the approach, how we want to approach it. I think, Dr. Money, I think we have a special session tomorrow on how we want to approach the 300 days challenge. It's not as if we are going to use 25% of $1,000. Yes, you can do that.
You have a special class for that.
Okay, I should not talk about the way we want the emotion want to approach it.
No, go ahead. But we have a class for that tomorrow.
Okay, it's fine. No, the way you go about it is we increase the rate at which we trade coins. It's not just trading one coin. This $300 challenge, it means you're taking 3%, 30 times in a month. Abi? 30 times in a month. Every day you're taking 3%. Every day 3%. 30 times in a month. Then when you say 30 times 10 in 10 months, you have $300. So if you take it 300 times, that's when you can hit that target of using $700 for $700,000. It is completely very easy and very, very completely possible. 100% possible if you know how to pick signal. Very easy. Now, how do you do it? You're not going to use $250. 25% of $1,000 is just okay. I think I should do 400 so that you know that this is for this. What I just talked about is for 1,000. This is 300. That means you're going to use this for 2 coin to give you 600. And you now go and prepare settings for 400. Change the steady to what radical, like I say, confirm. 25% of 400 will give you 100. Margin configuration standard 5, nothing. Sometimes a trade will tempt you and you want to use a margin call. Never. 5 margin call, no matter how tempting the trade is, completely kill emotion and greed. You keep seeing results. Percentage 2%. 0.3, change it to 0.1, just the same way I've already explained. I've already explained take profit ratio. Callback, sorry. Margin configuration, you have what? How do we get it? You type 1, you type 2, Fibonacci. We are using Fibonacci. 1, 2, you type 3, you type 4, sorry, 5, you type 8. So when you add everything, it gives you 19. If you want to get the first, for the first margin call, what are you going to allocate? You say 1 divided by 19. Now, when you take 100 from 400, you are left with 300 times 300. You have 15. 15 divided by 100, you have 0.16. 0.16. So you remove the one and put 0.16. The next one, I think you should give 0.32. And I'll say, okay, 2 divided by 19 times 300, divided by 70, divided by 100. It gives you 0.32. You can see 0.32. So you now type 0.32, 0.32. The next one, 3 divided by 19, 3 divided by 19 times 300 divided by 100. It gives you what? 0.47. 0.47. Here is 0.47. The next one, you want 5 divided by 19. I think 5 divided by 19 times 300 divided by 100. 0.79. 0.79. 0.79. The last one, 80 divided by 19. 80 divided by 19. 80 divided by 19 times 300. It gives you what? Divided by 100 gives you 1.26. 1.26. So when you add everything together, it gives you 4 times 100, it gives you 400, 1.26. By the time you add everything together, it gives you 3 plus 1, which I say is a constant that you always add. 1, it gives you 4. 4 times 100 give you 400. So which means you are correct. Confirm. Change the 0.5 to 0.1. Change the 0.3 to 0.1. Distributed take profit allocation, like I say, is always 1.3, 1.3, 1.3. Save. That is it for 400. So this is a setting for $1,000, 300 for 2 coin, 400 for 1 coin. So this is how you trade it. Your target is to take 3% 30 times in a month. It is completely possible. That means your first buying amount is 250. So if you are taking it, you know that at the end of the month, you are looking at, if you are to do that 300 days challenge, if you are using 250, open bracket, 250 in bracket 1.03 raised to the power of 30. You are taking it 30 times. You should see your first buying amount should change to 606. If you follow, your first buying amount should change to 606 in 30 days. So if that's your target, you can decide to spread the trade like this. 300, 300, 400. So if you are doing it at the end of 30 days, or maybe at the end of 2, if you are able to meet up, when all the whole trade closes, you should see that your first buying amount should change to 606 because your target is that 250, which is your first buying amount, which you are using. So imagine if you are there at the end of the 300 days, you should be able to see 1.7 million. This is completely possible. Completely possible. With $250 first buying amount, you should be able to see 1.7 million. And if you convert that 1.7 million to Naira times 750, 1.7, sorry, I made a mistake. Sorry, 1.03 raised to the power of 1.03 to the power of 300. You have 1.7 million. Convert it to Naira. You know that what it means. That's 1.3 billion. If you have 1.3 billion, my sister, resign from your work. You don't need a job. This money is enough for you to spend for the next 27 years. If you're spending $100 every day, with $1 million, if you're spending $100 every day, if you have $1 million, it will take you 27 years for you to finish it. If you're spending $100 every day, somebody will say, how do I know about it? $1 million, convert $1 million. See $1 million. Now you are spending $100 every day. Now it means in a year you spend 100 times 365. 100 times 365. So you have 365 times 100. That means you are spending $36,000, $36,500 every day. So in a year, how many years are you going to spend if you have $1 million? That means $1 million, $1 million divided by 36,500. So you can see it will take you 27 years for you to finish spending $100 if you're spending $100 every day. So imagine if you have 1.7 million. How many years are you going to spend on that? That means just come out. Once you are finished with this $300 challenge and you hit the target, you don't need a job again. Goodbye to job. That's why we say our goal, our motto is certificate should be an option, not a necessity. I think if you have any question, that's just for $300. Now, apart from that, anything that is below $300, you cannot use Fibonacci because it's not going to work, except you want to reduce the margin call. Anything below $300, you use +1 tactics, which is what I'm going to show you guys. It is because the $300 and above is why I'm using this. And if you're using $1,000, trade 3 coin, 300, 300, 400. If you're using 1.5, trade 3 coin, 500, 500, 500. If you're using $2,000, trade 4 coin, 500, 500, 500, 500. If you're using $3,000, you can decide to trade 6 coin, 500 in 6 places, or you trade. Yes, you are just increasing the rate at which you trade. If you are using $4,000, you can decide to trade 4 coin, 1,000 per coin. If you are using $5,000, you can try to trade 5 coin, 1,000 per coin. $6,000, 6 coin, 1,000 per coin. You are just increasing the rate at which you trade a coin so that the probability of sell is high in a day. It's not as if all of them will not sell. You can see the results Dr. Money shared. It's not as if all will not sell. You just want to increase the rate at which there is a sell in a day. $10,000, 5 coin, 2,000 per coin. That's how it works. Now, if you have anything less than 300, use +1 tactics. And this is what I'm going to show you. Use +1 tactics. For example, somebody have $100. You tap on plus, change the steady to radical. Coach Adaba, can you still hear me?
Yes, loud and clear.
Okay. Please, if you understand, I want to move to the +1 tactics. If you understand the Fibonacci tactics, please, you can just type yes on the chat box so that I will know that I will be sure that you understand how I did it. Okay. If you understand the Fibonacci tactics, please type a yes. We have 89 people on the call. I want to see at least 10%, which is like 8.9 or 10 people. At least 10 people should understand what I've said so far. I want to believe after this meeting, you should never have any issue of settings again, as long as you are following the settings of the motion. Okay, somebody say, how did I get the 19? Okay, I'll talk about it. You can ask 2 million questions here. This is a 2-hour class. You must understand it. It's not you must understand. We don't care spending 3 or 4 hours here until you understand it, until it enter your head to understand. Okay. What do you say? How did I get the 19? Okay, keep them coming. If you come late, you can go and watch the recording. The recording will be on the group. Okay. I'll go through the Fibonacci. I think some people are still having the Fibonacci issue stuff. I'll go back again. So I say, if you have if you anything 300 and above, $300 setting, recommendation of the Motion International is to use $300 per coin. It is not obligatory. It is not mandatory. If you like, you can decide to say, okay, the $300 that's my small capital. I want to trade 200, 100. That's why I'm bringing the issue of +1. Some people does not, it's not about the house capital. In Motion International, whether you have small capital or big capital, you keep making money. The most important thing is follow the instruction. Stick to the rules and regulation of the game. Just like football match. If you're playing football match and you decide to disobey the rule, what will do? The referee will give you red card. The same thing with Royal Q. If you disobey the rule, Royal Q will give you floating loss, which is red card. You know what that means, red. So once you follow the instruction, you will not have problem. Now, I want to repeat the $300 setting again. I say if you're trading, if you want to set $300 setting, this is what you do. $300 setting, this is what you do. Change the radical, change the steady to radical. You change the steady to radical, you will see steady here. You change it to radical. You change the steady to radical. Then first buy-in amount, the first buy-in amount is $75. 25% of your capital. If you have $300, for instance, 25% of $300 is 75. You punch your calculator. 25% of $300 is 75. Margin call limit, change it to 5. Is standard. The minimum margin call we use is 5. The more whole position take profit ratio, we use 2%. 2%. Whole position take profit callback 0.1. Margin configuration. If you go to margin configuration, I say Fibonacci numbers start with 1 and 2. 1, 2. 1 and 2. Now, if you want to get the next number, you say 1 plus 2 will give you 3. The next one, if you want to get the next one, you say 3 plus 2 will give you 5. If you want to get the next one, you say 5 plus 3 will give you 8. This is how I came about the Fibonacci numbers. Now, these are not, you're not going to do it like this. It's just to help you or to guide you on how you're going to compute the USDT that will be allocated for each of the margin call. Now, I want to calculate the USDT that will be allocated for the first margin call. What do? I will just go to my calculator. I'll go to my calculator. Since the Fibonacci numbers I used are 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 5 plus 8. I add everything together. 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 5 plus 8. I add everything together. So when you add everything together, 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 5 plus 8, it gives me 19. That's how I got 19. Now, I want to calculate the first margin call. How much USDT am I going to allocate for the first margin call? Don't forget, I've already taken 25% of the money, which is $300, which is 75 as first margin call, as first buying amount. When I take that 75 away from 300, what's left? 225. That 225 is what I want to spread across these 5 margin calls. Now, how I'm going to do it is the tactics I'm just showing you. After you've sum everything that's giving you 19, 1 divided by 19. If you want to get the first margin call, what are you going to allocate for the first margin call here? You're going to say 1 divided by 19. You're going to say 1 divided by 19. 1 divided by 19.
1 divided by 19 times the leftover after you've taken 75 from 300. What is the leftover? The leftover is 225, isn't it? So now you now say, okay, 225 is the leftover. So you now say times 225. You can see it gives me 11.8. It means I'm going to use 11.84 USDT as for the first margin call if the robot buy the first margin call. So what I'm going to do, I'm not going to type 11.84. I'm going to type 11.84 divided by the first buying amount, which is 75. And that's what I'm going to put. You can see it's giving me 0.15. But because if you're using iPhone, it is 1 decimal place. You can't use 2 decimal place. If you're using Android, you can use 3 decimal place. So I will round it up because my phone is Android. Sorry, my phone is Android. I'm going to say, okay, round it up to 2 decimal place. This is what we did. This is when we were in secondary school, we taught us this decimal place. Rounding off numbers in secondary school, I think it's SS1. But nobody taught us how we can use that rounding off number to cash out money. I didn't mean when we were in SS1, they're teaching us how to use that money. That's when you become very, very interesting. You somebody just cram every time you pass. Now looking for a job is a problem. The rounding of numbers. This is the most important. Yeah, you can apply it and cash out money. If you are learning those things in secondary school, that's when the education will become very interesting because you are using that knowledge to cash out money. 0.16. If you round it up to 2 decimal places, you have 0.16. 0.16. Now you go back and write 0.16 here. 0.16. And when you go to the second, I want to get to the second one. You can see on my second margin call, I have 2. I'm talking about this. Somebody will say, hey, you're talking about 2. I don't understand. Where is the 2? I'm talking about this 2 here. You go back, you type 2 divided by 19. 2 divided by 19. 2 divided by 19 gives me what? 2 divided by 19 gives me 0.105 times 225, which is the leftover after taking 75 from 300. 23 USDT. That means I'm going to allocate 23.6842 USDT on my second margin call. I'm not going to type this amount USDT on my second margin call. No, I'm going to type divided by 75, which is 0.32. If you round it up to 2 decimal place, 0.32. So you have 0.32. 0.32. Then the next one is 3. So I'm now using, okay, 3 divided by 19. 3 divided by 19 times 225. You can see it's giving me 35. Divided by what? 275, which is my first buying amount. 0.47. 0.47. And that type 0.47. The next one is what? 5 divided by 19 times 225. 59. Divided by what? 75. 0.79. 0.79. Now type 0.79. 0.79. The next one, 8 divided by 19 times 225 divided by 75, you have 1.26. 1.26. You have 1.26. 1.26. So you can see, by the time you add 0.16 plus 0.32 plus 0.47 plus 0.79 plus 1.26, it will give you 3. I say after you add everything together, there is a constant number. Just make use of this formula. A plus 1 is equals to capital. This A is the sum of all the amount you got for first call to fifth call. When you sum everything together, first call to fifth call, when you sum everything together, the formula I say you should use is A plus 1 equals to capital. Now this A is first call 0.16 plus 0.32. That is the value of A. Plus 0.47 plus 0.79, then plus 1.26. That is A. Then if you got the answer, which is 3. If you get the answer, which is 3, plus A, I said the formula is A plus 1. 3 plus that one is equals to capital. Sorry, plus 1 multiplied by first buying amount is equals to capital. First buying amount, sorry, let me write it. A plus 1 multiplied by first buy times first buy. First buy is equals to capital. You can write the formula down. So by the time we add everything plus 1 times first buy, which is 75, it's going to give you 300, which is the capital for this. That's how I came about this. Now, I hope that is clear. I want to move to +1 tactics. I want to be sure that you guys understand what I did. Please, if you understand, if you understand it, please. Okay. Okay. If you understand it now better, please, you can say type yes on the chat. Type yes on the chat. Okay, I have 1, 2, 3. I think I have 4. I want to see 10. If I have 10, that means I know 10% is okay. Okay. Keep them coming, keep them coming. If you understand it and you don't have any issues now concerning the issue of Fibonacci, using it to compute your multiple buying ratio, please type yes, because we are on for fire today. You have to understand it. You just have to know it. Ask questions. Ask 1 million questions. We'll give you 1 billion answers. Yeah? Ask. We are burning the night. Yeah? Okay. So I want to believe everybody understand the Fibonacci. Everybody understand the Fibonacci and how to compute the $300 capital. Okay, someone see he has a question. Yeah? Okay, what's the question? You can type it on the chat box. We don't want to unmute anyone here. Type your question in the chat box. Okay, somebody that has $10,000 capital. Like I say, $10,000 you can trade 5 coins, 2,000 per coin. You can trade 5 coins, 2,000 per coin. Right? Now that means you're going to do a setting for 2,000. 25% of 2,000 is what? $500. So if you take out $500 from 2,000, you are left with what? 1,500. So that 1,500 is what you are going to spread across the 5 margin calls. Do you get? Okay, don't worry. If you have, I will do that of +1. The +1 tactic is for those that have small capital. Right? Somebody is saying, if I have $10,000, my brother, if you have $10,000, you don't be minting the salary of FIRS. You'll be minting the salary in your house with boxers and singlets. Just wake up in the morning with your coffee, watch your TV, and that's if you choose to. If you like, you want to work, you can be going to work. But if you like, sit down at home with $10,000, you can be just be cashing out the salary of anybody working in FIRS or NCC, National Communication Commission, that you need to be looking for who you know to come and lobby and get the job. Sit down in your house and be cashing out $10,000 can be giving you $500,000 in a month. Cool money, no stress. No stress. In fact, $1 million in a month. You can make $1 million with $10,000 every month. And you know, $1 million is the salary of who? Salary of someone working in NMPC. Even more than that. So what am I saying? If you have $10,000, it's 2,000 per coin. Let me just try and finish this up so that I'll move to those that have small capital. Those that have small capital, you'll be using +1 tactics. You can't use Fibonacci. So somebody that is having $10,000, say what? You are going to use $2,000 per coin. That's 5 coins. So if you have 25% of $2,000, we give you what? $500. Now, $500. Hey, my brother. Before I even go to that place.
Someone is asking.
Yes?
Someone is asking if this strategy is only for one shot or normal trading. Please let them know the reason why we choose to use one shot so that they understand. Thank you.
Now, the reason why we are using one shot, tomorrow, Dr. Money will post on the group the total percentage we have made in a week. We have traded 40 coins. And I up to from Sunday last week to Saturday, today, makes it 1 week. 32 of the coins have sold, 8 is left. If you calculate the total percentages that have sold, it is even getting to 80 to 100%. You cannot get that using Circle. Circle trading cannot give you that kind of percentage in a week. Yes, you're going to make money in Circle, because Circle, you are setting the robot to be doing it for the job. You don't care. You don't want to care what is trading you. To hell with trading. They don't want to do anything. If you want to do Circle trading, you need $4,000 per coin. $4,000 per coin. You need $4,000 per coin if you want to do Circle trading. And this $4,000, you can make minimum 5% in a month. Minimum 5% in a month. But with one shot, you can make 10 to 100% of this money in 1 month. 10 to 100% if you're using the signal, you're following the rules and regulations. So imagine if you're making 20% of this money in a month. 20% in a month. See what it's going to give you. $800. It's even more. We're just trying to be conservative here. We're just trying to be conservative. You get between 10 to 100% just in this week. The signal that is dropped is between 80 to 100%. So that's one shot. You get, that's the kind of the power of one shot. The reason why you're doing this setting is for one shot. Is for one shot. So that we make more profit than the Circle. Circle is, the reality is an automatic. You can set it hands-free. Set it, let you use $4,000 for one coin. If you need it, we can do this. If we have the settings, we can give it to you. Set it for one coin and go and just be checking once in a while. What did you make? Once in a while, what do you make? It's as simple as that. But because of the fact that one shot gives us more money than the Circle, which is why Motion International decided to take to one shot. But if you're a client that wants Circle, we can also give you Circle. You get one shot gives you more profit than Circle trading. That's why we are doing these settings. Now, for $1,000, $10,000 that this guy is talking about, I say you use what? You use the same standard. Anything beyond $300, you can use Fibonacci. First buying amount, we change it to $500. First, the minimum margin call is 5, right? 0.1. Margin configuration, when you come to this place, just type 0.2, 0.3. The same way, 1, 2, 3, 5, 8. If you do all the calculation, you should arrive at 0. If you want to use the one decimal place, you'll be arriving at this value I just talked about. This value you're seeing here, I don't want to go through it again. I said you type 1, 2, 3, 5, 8. Then you sum everything, will give you 19. 1 divided by 19 times, if you're using $2,000, first buy is 500. So the leftover is $1,500. If you go to your calculator, you want to know what you're going to put for the first margin call. 1 divided by 19. I want to believe everybody know how I got the 19. I say you type 1, 2, 3, 5, 8 on the multiple buying ratio. Then when you add everything together, it gives you 19. So if you want to know what you're going to allocate for the first margin call, you now say 1 divided by 19. 1 divided by 19 times $1,500. You can see times $1,500 is going to give me what? $78. So by the time I now say, okay, divided by what? So let me try it again. 1 divided by 19 times 1,500. It gives me what? 78. Divided by what? 500. It gives me what? 0.15. So I want to use one decimal place. I can start to use one decimal place. Round it up, you have 0.2. 0.2. So when you have 0.2, you can decide to use 0.2, 0.3. If you do the rest as one decimal place, you have this value 0.5, 0.8, 1.2. Even the other ones that you just did now, you can decide to use. I rounded up to one decimal place. No, the first one is 0.15. By then now that's 0.2. The next one is 0.31. By then rounded up to one decimal, that's 0.3. The next one is 0.47. If you round it, that's 0.5. Next one is 0.79. I just decided to use one decimal place. That's why I seen it for those that for the benefit of those that are using iPhone. This is what you're going to use. 0.2, 0.3. I think I'm sorry. I think our great doctor. Let me see. Okay, so our percentage as sum of the total percentage we made, total percentage that was obtained just in the space of 7 days from Sunday last week till Saturday, we have made 87.7%. My brother, which scheme can give you, which bank can give you that kind of percentage? 87%. And you're still counting because we just released the remaining percent, the remaining coin. We have 40, like I said, we have 40 signals. 32 has sold. 8 is spending, and even the 8 that is spending is between the floating loss of 5 to 25, and he's still cashing out money with fixed margin call. By tomorrow, we release the remaining results. You find out that it's close to 100%. Our target is to see that we make 100% every week, 100% every week, 400% every month. That's our target. You get? So tomorrow she will release the remaining one, hopefully, against record 0.5, 0.8, 1.2. So by the time you add everything together, like I say, you make use of the formula A plus 1 in bracket times first buying amount is equals to capital. If you add everything, it's going to give you 3 plus 1, 4. 4 times 500, give you 2,000. So this one, that's all, my brother. That's all. Simple. 0.1. Circle, change it to one shot. 0.5, change to 0.1. That's as simple as that. Simple. If you understand it, safe. This is a $10,000. That means you're going to be using it 5 times for 5 coins. Yeah? 5 coins, my brother. This guy wants to cash out. This guy that has this question, I started thinking of how he can use this thing to cash out full money. And I hope you're not going to cash out the salary of President Muhammad Buhari. You can make it with this royalty. The salary of Osibanjo, you can use these handsets. This is your cell phone. Somebody will say it's a lie. Go and get good capital. In fact, let me show you something. Go and get good capital. Say you're trading, you have 5%, you're taking 5% of $25,000. You're using $10,000, $100,000, $100,000 as first buying amount. Say you have $400,000. It's about capital. You have $400,000. $400,000 as capital. And I'm just giving you this chance, right? First buying amount is what? $100,000. And you just took 5%. You see Gala. Gala did 10, I think Gala did 5% today. You take 5% of 100. That's $5,000 times 750, my brother. Look at the money you're seeing here, 3.7 million. In one trade. If you have traded Gala today, I dropped a signal on Gala. I think, if I'm not mistaken, I can't remember whether it's 5% or 3%. So you take 2.5%, 3.7 million. In today, now, this money went out your local account. And it's not as if you're giving anybody your money. That's why I say Royal QE business is a business that the whole of 9 planet, not just planet Earth, even planet, if should in case there is a spiritual business in Mars, Jupiter, Saturn, Pluto, all those, in case we don't even know where that's going, maybe genes are doing business there. There is no business that's better than Royal QE in the whole 9 planets. Everything is done on your smartphone, in your pocket. You're not giving anybody your money. Your money remains with you, 2,000% with you. 100 and in fact. Let me just stop. So that's how you do it for $10,000. You use $2,000 for 5 coin, and that's how it is. You follow the instruction. Signal comes, first call to fifth call. The percentage call drop is there. If you see the signal test, you first call, you just go and pick. By the time you go to your margin configuration, it will tell you that first call to fifth call. If it is 1.6, you just type 1.6. If you want to watch, you can go to the YouTube to get the link for the video that will tell you how you can use rhetoric emotion international signals. And don't forget the features of our signals. First call, every day we take 1 to 5%. Our floating loss is between 5 to 25%. Our monthly signal, we have a monthly signal between 5 to 20% take profit. That's it. That's how it goes. That's it. So that's how for $22,000. For the guy that is asking, this is how you do for $2,000. Now, for somebody that don't have capital, yes, of course, every hand, you can see your fingers are not equal. If you look at your fingers, all fingers are not equal, right? So if your capital is small, below 300, you make use of +1 tactics, and this is what I'm going to talk about. Somebody came to, maybe your client came to you, or your friend wants to start reacting. After activating, he has $100. How is he going to go about it? And he wants to use Emotion International Signals. How is he going to go about it? Yes, you can still do it. Go tap on plus sign. The same tactics, change steady to radical. Change 25% of your money is first buy. So $25. 25% of $100 will give you what? $25. First, you're not going to use 5 margin calls. You're going to use 3 margin calls. Take note of that. It's not going to be 5 margin calls, 3 margin calls. This one is 2%. Margin configuration, you are going to use 0.5. If you +1 tactics, if you're using +1 tactics, this is how you do it. 1, 2, 1 plus 1, 2, 2 plus 1, just be adding 1, 1, 3. 1 plus 1, 2, 2 plus 1, 3, 3 plus 1, 4, like that. But because of $100, I'm using +1 tactics, +1 tactics. I'm using +1 tactics. So 1, 2, 3. So if I want to know the amount of USDT I'm going to allocate for the first margin call, I'll now say 1 + 2 + 3. You go to your calculator. 1 + 2 + 3. 1 + 2 + 3. Give me what? 6. And I say 1 divided by 6 times, what is the leftover after taking $25 from $100? You have 75. So times 75, you have what? 12.5. This is 12.5 USDT you're going to allocate for the first margin call. But you're not going to type this on the first margin call. You're going to type divide by 25, which is 0.5. That's why you see 0.5 here. 0.5 here. The second one is what? The second one is 2. 2 divided by 6 times 75. You have 25. Divided by 25. First by an amount, which is 1. You can see. That's why you see you change it 1 to 1. Then the last one is what? 3. 3 divided by 6. 3 divided by 6 times 3 divided by 6 times 75. You have 37.5. Divided by 25. You have 1.5. That's why you see 1.5 here. You put 1.5 here. Somebody say, how will I know whether I'm correct? Use the same formula I say. A + 1 in bracket times first by an amount. What is the A? 0.5 + 1, you have 1.5. 1.5 + 1.5, you have 3. That is the A. 3 + 1, you give me what? 4. 4 times first by an amount, which is 25, give me 100. That means my calculation is correct. So if I am using 3 margin call and a signal came from T-Motion International, you will see the T-Motion International signal having hash at RQTMI. The meaning of RQTMI is Royal Q T-Motion International. Anytime you see you say first call to fifth call, maybe you say first call to fifth call is 2%. And you're using 3 margin call, you're going to say first call to fifth call, 2%. 2 times 5, because that's 5 margin call. First call to fifth call is 5 margin call. 2 times 5 will give you 10. 10 divided by 3. 10, because you're using 3 margin call. 10 divided by 3. 10 divided by 3. Take note of that. 10 divided by 3. Now the answer it gives you is what you're going to put for the first call, second call, third call. Confirm. Circle change it to 1 shot. 0.5 change it to 0.1. That's all. 0.3 change to 0.1. That's all. That's all for $100. Now, what about somebody that has $150 on my brother? I know the country is hard, it's not easy. That's why we need Royal Q. Royal Q is like a blessing. The reason why we don't even know who created Royal Q is like an angel. God sent an angel to earth to come to change like human being and bring Royal Q. Who you cannot know, okay, who created Royal Q? If not for God that help us. I'm already just interpreting it like that because Royal Q is a big blessing.
Someone is complaining that you're too fast. Coach Salisu, somebody is complaining that you're too fast. I don't know if maybe it's the network, but I can hear you loud and clear here. But if you can still slow down for some people who still can't hear you, to them you say you're fast. Okay?
Okay,
Please.
it's fine, okay, it's fine. Thanks for the question. Like I say, we can sleep here. We can do this till 4 o'clock in the morning. I'm not tired. So long as it will enter your blood. Our goal is to ensure that once you attend this meeting, you should never have problem of setting in your life again in Royal Q. Setting up, as long as you're setting up Royal Q, you should not have problem. So ask as much as you can ask. They're going to give you, we'll try as best as possible to give you the best answer you need that will make you understand. So I'll go back again. Somebody has $100. The reason why you're using +1 tactics is because some people don't have capital. When your capital is not up to $300, if it's not up to $300, I know the country is hard, it's not easy. You use +1 tactics. You have $100. You have $100. And they say the Motion International recommendation is $300. Does it mean you're not going to trade? No, you can still trade. The thing is that how do you set the reward for the $100? The most important point to note is the first buy-in amount of the Motion International is always 25% of the capital that you're going to allocate. But don't forget, you cannot trade more than 1 coin if you have $100. $300 and above is suitable. Maybe if somebody has $300 and above, you have $600 or $340. We're just trying to you cannot finish all the capital. Finish talking about it. Don't get the concept so that you can apply it on any other capital. First buying amount is 25%, which is $25. Now, don't enable open position double. Don't enable it. I'm talking about this. Don't enable it. You don't enable it, leave it. You leave it. Now, because you don't have capital, because you don't have capital. I'm coming. Because you don't have capital. I know. Now, margin call limit 3 is 3. Margin call limit is 3. Right? Now, whole position take profit ratio. Whole position profit ratio 2%. Everything is 0.1, 0.1. Margin configuration, I still use +1 tactics. How? 1 plus 1, 2, 2 plus 1, 3. You don't use Fibonacci. You don't use Fibonacci. If your capital is less than 300, don't use Fibonacci, use +1. And if you're using +1, this is what it happens. You just be adding 1 to every number. 1 plus 1, 2. 2 plus 1, 3. That's how I came about 1, 2, 3. If you want to know the USDT that is allocated, you're going to allocate for the first margin call. You're going to say 1 divided by 1 plus 2 plus 3 give us what? 6. 6. By the time you now say, okay, if I want to know the amount of USDT for the first call, I will now say 1, since it's 1 that is in the first call. 1 divided by 6. Now, by the time you take $25 from $100, what's left? $75. 1 divided by 6 times 1 divided by 6 times 75 will give you what? 12.5. So, by the time you say, okay, divided by first buying amount, which is 25, it's going to give you 0.5. That's why you're going to remove the 1 and put 0.5. The next one, 2 divided by 6. 2 divided by 6 times 75, which is the 75 is the leftover after taking 25 from $100. Now you have what? The answer divided by the answer 2 divided by 6 times 75. The answer you are going to get divided by the first buy, which is 25, you're going to get 1.5. The next one, 3 divided by 6 times 75. The answer you get divided by 25, you're going to get, you're going to get 1, You say that you're going to get 1.5. So that's how I came about it, and that's how I did it. Confirm. Confirm. So that's it. If you want to do the $300 challenge and you have $100, you're not going to use $100 as first buy amount. You're not using my margin call here. You're going to use $25. Somebody will say the amount is too small. Calculate the thing. $25. You're taking 3% on $25 for 300 times in 300 days. Do the calculations for yourself. By the time you now say, okay, $25, 1.03, raised to the power of 300 days. My brother, this is $477,446 to $462. My brother, convert that money to Naira. Convert that money to Naira. That's 133 million Naira. No jokes here, my brother. No jokes. Serious money. Too much money. Just know how to use it. So that's how you do it. Save, and that's all. You're good to go. That's $100. Somebody that is having $150 is the same tactics you're going to use. The same tactics is what you're going to use. How do you do it? Is that person should mute? Somebody is sleeping. Maybe you should mute. Coach Adaba.
I just did that. Continue.
Okay. So somebody is having $150. How does he go about it? In the same way, let me delete this. Now the same thing, just tap on the pen.
Coach Alice, we can't hear you. Unmute yourself, please.
Now the first buy amount is 7.5. That's 7.5. That's 7.5. So by the time you know, okay, margin call limit. The margin call limit, you can make it 4. You can make it 4. Let's see. I'll show you why. Then go to margin configuration. That guy is still sleeping. That guy is still snoring, please.
Okay, unmute yourself now. I've everybody. Unmute yourself now.
So you're using 150. So you have 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 1 plus 1 2 2 plus 1 3 3 plus 1 4. Because you're using plus 1 tactics. I say anything below 300, use plus 1 tactics. Now by the time you now say, okay, how do I go about it? Go to your calculator. 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4. Give me 10. So if I want to know what I'm going to put for the first margin call, don't forget I say it's 150. So you're going to see 150 minus 37.5. You're left with 112.5. 112.5. If you have 112.5, now you have 1 divided by 10 times 112.5. You have 11. You can see what you have. Divided by first by number, which is 37.5. You have 0.3. So you're going to put 0.3 on the first margin call. 0.3. Secondly, you have what? 2. 2 divided by 10 times 112.5 divided by 37.5. You have what? 0.6. So you see 0.6 here. Next one you have what? 3 divided by 6, 10 times 112.5 divided by 37.5. You have 0.9, you see, 0.9. And the last one you have 1.2. Now, if you do the last one, you're going to get 1.2. By the time you now add everything together, 0.3 plus 0.6 plus 0.3 plus 0.6 plus 0.9 plus 1.2 gives me 3. That is my A. I say you should use the formula. Use the formula A plus 1 times first buying amount. That's first buying amount is equals to capital. Now A is the value of summation of all those things. 0.2 plus 0, 0.3 plus 0.6 plus 0.9 plus 1.2. Give me what? 3 plus 1 times first buy, which is 37.5. You can see it's going to give me 150. Which means if I have 150, I'm going to use 4 margin calls. 4 margin calls. 4 margin calls. That's how we do it. If you're done, you just go and tap on confirm. Confirm. Tap on save. You save your settings and change it to one shot. That's all. What if you have $200 setting? $200. It is the same tactics you're going to use. Just you need to understand. It's not just for the cap. Understand the tactics. I think I'll use this one as the last one. $200. So I'll have. Oh, does everybody understand what I've done so far? Okay, someone is asking I should do $200. Okay, does everybody understand? For capital of $300, you can decide to trade 200. That's why I say you should understand the tactics, not the settings. For just you don't cram the setting. Understand the tactics. You will now know how you can apply it, navigate through your capital, navigate and get a setting for your capital. For $300 setting, $300, you can decide to use $200 for one coin, $100 for another coin. Right? But the recommendation is $300 per coin. And you can try to do it like that. So you'll be trading 2 coins, $100 for one coin, $200 for another coin. Somebody say, okay.
Yes. I was trying to do that. I can't do that today.
What's that?
Make doctor a co-host. I can't do that today. I was trying to do that.
Okay. I can't see her. I can't find her. She's not here. Okay, I've seen her. So if you have $200 setting, somebody has $200, how do you do it? 25% of $200, you give me what? $50. So it means you're going to use your first buying amount as $50. The first bar month is going to be $50. So you just go and tap on this, change the radical. You see still remain radical. Change it to 50. Then your margin call should be 5 if you are using $200. $100 3 margin call, $150 4 margin call, $200 5 margin call. Take note of that. All right. Whole position take profit ratio 2%. You don't forget, don't worry. The way you analyze the coin is tentative, it's not constant. This thing changes. Now, whole position take profit color 0.2. Margin configuration. I say you use, if you're using this, you can use +1. Anything less than $300, use +1. You have 1, 2, +1, 3, 3 +1, 4, 4 +1. You just be adding 1, 5. 5. Now, 1 + 2 + 3 will give me what? 6. 6 + 4 is what? 10. 10 + 5 is what? 15. If you want to get to know what you're going to allocate for the first margin call, you now say 1 divided by 15. By the time you take 50 from 200, you have left with what? 150 times 150. You have what? 10. Now, 10 divided by first buying amount, which is 50. You have 0.2. So that's why you're going to type 0.2. 0.2. The next one, you have 250 divided by 15. 2 divided by 15 times 150 divided by 50. You have 0.4. You have 0.4. 0.4. The next one, if you do 3 divided by 15 times 150 divided by first buy, which is 50, you're going to get 0.6. Same thing. 4 divided by 15 times 150 divided by first buy, which is 50, will give you 0.8. 5 divided by 15 times 150. Somebody will say, why did I get the 150? I said, after you've taken 50 for 25% of $200, you're left with 50. Take that 50 from 200, you're left with 150. That's how I came about 150. Now, if you want to know the USDT you're going to allocate for the fifth margin call, you now say 5 divided by 150, 5 divided by 15 times 150 divided by 50, which is the first bar money, give me 1. So if I want to know whether I'm correct, don't forget the formula. I say A + 1 in bracket times first by, which is equals to capital. 0.2 + 0.4, which is 0.6. 0.6 + 0.6 give me what? 1.2. 1.2 + 0.8 give me what? 1.2. No. Let's do it again. Okay, let's do it again. 0.2 + 0.4 + 0.6 + 0.8 + 1. You can see it give me 3 + 1. That's my A. A + 1, which is 4, times first buy, which is 50. That's why that means it's correct. 200. That means it's correct. The margin call drop comes with the signal. The signal will tell you first call to fifth call. So this. That's when you just come back here and change. Everything remains 0.1, 0.1, 0.1. Everything is 0.1. Change the circle to one shot. Once you will see circle, change it, tap on it, to change to one shot. That's it. That's it. So this is setting for what? $200. The same thing tactics is what they're going to, anything 200 and above, you are going to use 5 margin call. Anything 200 and above, you can use 500 margin call. But anything $200 and above, 5 margin call. But as long as it's not up to $300, you can use Fibonacci. Don't use Fibonacci. Use +1. But anything 300, you can decide to say, okay, I'm having 2. If you have the understand the tactics, you'll be able to use it to spread to do any capital. Now, if you have $200, you can be trading 2 coins, $100, $100. You can trade 2 coins because if you understand the tactics, $100, $100. If you have 250, you can start to trade 150, 100, 150 for 1 coin, 100 for 1 coin. You get? But $300, you can start to trade, okay, 300. I don't want to use Fibonacci. I don't want to trade 1 coin. I want to trade 3 coins, 100, 100, 100. You see, it just once you get the tactics, 100, anything 100 is 3 margin call. Anything 100, 3 margin call. Anything 150, 4 margin call. Anything 200, 5 margin call. You just get the tactics. Once you get the tactics, every other capital, you can use it to do any other capital. So I want to go back to the chat. If you have any question, drop it on the chat. Let me see. Dr. Money wants to address the house of the $300 challenge. This $300 challenge is to cleanse poverty from our generation, not just from us, to kill, to murder poverty, to shoot poverty, to shoot poverty, do poverty firing squad, to send poverty to its ancestors. Imagine having $1.7 million, my brother. You know what that means? It means even this is the money that even those are working, even if they spend 35 years, they cannot make that money. And you're minting it with your phone. Somebody say, okay, let me go through the question. How do I calculate margin call drop? Margin call drop is computed on this. We are not talking about how you can pick signal. It's only when you know how to pick signal. That's why you know how you can get margin call drop. The signal the royalty to motion international signal comes with the margin call drop. So if you're using 3 margin call, and the signal says first call to fifth call 2%, and you're using 3 margin call, and then just go and watch the video on how to use to motion international signal. You see all these things are there. You just, if you're using 3 margin call and the signal says first call to fifth call 2%, all you just need to do is to say, okay, 2 times 5. The 5 is the 1 to 5. 2 times 5, and because you're using 3 margin call, 2 times 5 divided by 3. You're using 3 margin call. If you're using 4 margin call, 2 times 5 divided by 4. Well, the answer you get is what you're going to put from first call to fourth call if you're using 4 margin call. If you're using 3 margin call, 2 times 5 divided by 3. The answer you get is what you're going to put for the first call, second call, and third call. Now, Dr. Money wants to address the house on the $300 challenge. This is completely serious. It's not the joke. How do I calculate margin call drop? Can you please explain the margin call drop settings? Margin call drop settings is something that is tentative, depending on how you can analyze the economy on a trading view. Please repeat this last one. I didn't understand. I don't know what you mean about that. What is the buy-in callback, distribution take profit calculation, and subposition take profit callback? Everything is 0.1. Distribution take profit ratio is 1.3. Constant, it doesn't change. For buy-in callback, it doesn't change. Subposition take profit 1.3 doesn't change. 0.1, sorry, it doesn't change. Buy-in callback 0.1, proportion take profit callback 0.1, subposition take profit callback is 0.1. It doesn't change. That's if you're using 5 margin call, it doesn't change. That one is constant. I don't understand, how did you get the strategy setting from the app? The strategy setting, what we are doing here is the setting we are using for our team, Motion International. This is how they set the robots. Don't go and use Motion International settings for another team signals.
Yes, kindly make a doctor.
I've done that. Okay.
No, the network took out, so she just joined back again.
Okay, so Dr. Money wants to address the house on the $300 challenge. Don't forget, her name is Dr. Money. She wants to bless everybody. As in, this is absolutely, words cannot express or explain what's going to happen from this if you take this thing very serious. We are going to murder poverty, send poverty to the whole of your 1.7 million is not a joke. Somebody say, let me quickly finish the question. Somebody say, can we do a detailed training like this on TradingView? Yeah, that's usually come around Wednesday. Where are we getting the +1 tactics? I say if you're using $100, $150, $200, anything below $300, use +1 tactics. Have you seen it? Okay, please do for $300 and $400. I don't do it for $300. I say if you want just understand the concept, you can use 150, 150. If you're using 300, you can use trade 2 coin, or you can trade 3 coin, 100, 100, 100. $400, you can decide to trade 4 coin, 100, 100, 100. It's just up to you how you want to do it, right? Can we do a detailed training on this on trading? You can do that. That's on Wednesday. We do the distributed take profit allocation. What the distributed take profit allocation is always a constant in Motion International, which is 1.3%. Doesn't change. If we use margin calls, which strategy do we set either sub-bin? We use warehouse mode. We don't use warehouse mode. If you're using less than 5 margin call, anything less than 5 margin call is warehouse mode. Please, is it possible to translate this margin call tactics in words and post in the group so you can have it at hand to hand? Watch the video again. Watch the video. Which is best for $300 using +1 tag? I say $300 you can use Fibonacci, but if you have $300, you can try to trade 3 coin, 100, 100, 100, 100, 100, 100. You just understand the tactics. If you understand, you can apply it you can play with it on any capital. So we want to give Dr. Money a chance to address the house because this is absolutely going to be mind-blowing on Tuesday. That's when we're going to start. So Dr. Money, you have the floor.
Okay, I don't know, because of the kind of wealth coming, my village people, they are trying to play pranks today, but they have failed. The network has taken me out of this meeting more than 20 times today, but I keep coming back because I'm a winner. They have failed. So let me quickly say this before we start, because I can see that most people are getting tensed up. They are getting worried about how to go about the challenge. Please, please, please calm down. You need to calm down. Listen, the wealth is not going to come overnight. The knowledge is not going to come overnight. Yes, one of the things we hope we want to achieve is to make sure that between now and the next 1 or 2 months, you are a trading professional. You can generate your signals by yourself. That is one of the major aim of this team, this particular team. So, having said that, we are going to be having series of meetings, series of trainings, right, after today. So it's not as if since we are starting the challenge on the first and they will just end. No, you must not even know how to. Of course, I mean, we're not going to open your head and just put everything now. So it's not as if you must know how to generate your signals by Monday. There are a few persons. I'm this kind of person that I don't force people to do things. I just tell you the way the way it works. Some persons they've been trying to come on board, activate for the past how many days, and I told them just leave the most important thing is that know how to set up your trading view, set it up. Then this lecture of today, this magic course, it is very important because you need it to be able to even pick the signals that you'll be given. So this is even more important. Know how to do this part and then start. You will be tired of signals. We have a factory for producing accurate. You just saw the result I shared. So calm down. You are going to learn about it. We are all still learning. There are a lot of things that we keep learning, not just a lot along the line. So, and it's going to be in different phases. So that's just what I want to say. So we are going tomorrow. We'll have a Zoom meeting tomorrow, strictly for how the challenge will go, how we want to go about it, the fund, everything about the challenge will be for tomorrow. It will not be for this class. This class is already long. Tomorrow, strictly for the challenge and the target, what we want to achieve. So that's for tomorrow. So just make sure that you get today's class, this video, today's own, watch it very well. It's very important because this is the secret to the success of our trades, so that as the trades, we've not started posting trades on the group because the challenge has not started, although we have where we'll be trading, so that as we start on the first, you can pick this trade. And then why we want you to learn about it, once you pick the trade, you can also check on it in your trading view, having set it up, then you know how this thing works. And then as you keep practicing it, you become a master of it. So it's not something you just do today, one day, and you just know, because some people are already panicking. Just teach us how to get the signals. Somebody's even saying somebody should come and teach and be marking signals. Waiting, I'm gonna calm down. Mark signals, how now? So please, let us just take it easy, step by step. The challenge is not a challenge of 1 week, it's a whole year project. So we'll definitely get there. First thing, do your magic course, set your trading view, get your BNAS verified. If you don't have, fund your account, you are good to go. It's that simple, step by step. We're going to take each step as it comes. Thank you.
Thank you very much for these golden words. So, Coach Adawa, I take it from. I think I'm done for the settings. In case anyone has any question, you can ask.
No, Coach Alicio, everything has been said. You can just continue, please.
Okay,
if there's
so if
any
you have any
questions,
you can ask. Because I told you guys today that this signal stuff, you can, of course, I know, just like Dr. Money said, there is no how you can just know this thing in 1 day. You can watch the video.
Please,
if you
okay,
watch it
I've
over,
dropped
if you
the
watch it
channel
1, 2,
link.
3, 4 times.
I've dropped the channel link on the chat. You can go back and watch the recording for tonight's class. Will also be uploaded on the channel link on the channel YouTube channel tonight. So, but I've dropped the link that will take you to the channel, so you can just check it out on the chat, please. Okay.
Okay. Someone is saying he wants to have a physical Zoom meeting for. Yeah, I think Adaba we can handle that. Coach Adaba, someone is saying we also have physical meeting for those of us in Port Harcourt.
Yes, I'm in Port Harcourt. I'm in Port Harcourt. Maybe we'll see how we can do that. I'm in Port Harcourt.
And if you want the physical meeting in Abuja, we can also have a physical meeting in Abuja because I'm also staying in Abuja. So it's fine. Thank you. So I can see there's no any other question. Everybody is happy. Everybody understands. I think we'll call it a day. Dr. Moni can give us a closing session, closing remark.
Okay, thank you, Coach Salisu. Thank you, Coach Mohammed. Thank you, Queen Ibok. Thank you, Queen Donchi. Thank you so much for everything for this journey we are starting. If you are here today in this meeting, it is not a coincidence, it's not by mistake. This is your season of winning. Welcome to your realm of wealth. Get ready to shock your neighbors, get ready to shock every shot. You will be shocked yourself. All you need to do is to be consistent, is to be focused, and then be patient. Patience should be number one because you need that in this space. And then get ready to just follow, obey, just be loyal, and then be obedient and useful. And then you, at the end of the day, you will be shocked at what you will make. We are going to make crazy millions. We want, at the end of this challenge, at least, if we have at least just 500 persons that have 100 million naira in their account, we'll say that we had a successful challenge. I hope you will be one of those persons. Like I always say, the bottom is crowded. Let us meet at the top. Thank you.
Okay. Good night, everyone. It's nice to meet you. Nice to meet you guys. It's a pleasure to have you, all of you. Good night. Coach Adaba.